New tonight, an appeals court upheld a man's sentence for murdering a Warrensville Heights woman. Last year, Terrell Edwards was sentenced to life in prison for shooting and killing his fiancée, Amanda Williams, back in October 2023. Prosecutors say he claimed self-defense, but the court didn't buy it. Edwards will be eligible for parole after 24 years.
Imagine a life meticulously built on dreams, dedication, and deep-seated values. A life of a beloved mother, grandmother, and thriving entrepreneur. Then, imagine that life violently extinguished in the one place it should have been safest, her own bedroom. This is the chilling story of Amanda Williams, a woman whose journey of love took a nightmarish turn, culminating in an unthinkable act of violence. Join us as we explore the unraveling of a dream and the stark realities hidden beneath a seemingly perfect facade. Before we delve into this haunting tale, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Sinister Tales, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another compelling story. Amanda Williams, born on April 18, 1977, in Cleveland, Ohio, was a woman whose life was built on a foundation of faith, education, and relentless hard work. Her parents instilled in her the importance of perseverance and giving back to the community, values she carried throughout her life. From a tender age, Amanda exhibited a natural leadership quality, a clear sign of the bright future that lay before her. Her journey through college saw her join the esteemed Delta Sigma Theta sorority, a historically Black organization deeply committed to public service. This affiliation extended beyond campus life, profoundly shaping her into a woman dedicated to uplifting others. Amanda discovered her true calling in the world of hairstyling, a field where her exceptional talent was matched only by her remarkable ability to connect with people. For over 2.5 decades, she honed her craft, becoming a highly respected figure within Cleveland's vibrant beauty community. More than just a stylist, Amanda became a trusted confidant, a loyal friend, and an inspiration to countless individuals. Her clients sought her not only for a great hairstyle, but for her caring heart and empathetic listening ear. The pinnacle of her professional journey arrived in 2023 with the grand opening of a La Mode Styles, a chic and thriving salon nestled in University Heights. Defying the daunting statistics that see a significant majority of new salons falter, Amanda's astute business acumen and tireless dedication propelled her salon to not only survive but truly flourish. She expanded her loyal clientele, successfully launched her own line of hair care products, and proudly celebrated her salon's second anniversary. Her entrepreneurial drive and unwavering commitment served as a powerful example for aspiring business owners, particularly women within her community. Those who knew Amanda consistently spoke of her infectious warmth, her radiant smile, and her unwavering devotion to her family. She was a cherished daughter, a loving sister, and an unyielding friend. Her life was a living testament to the values of leadership, service, and commitment she embodied every single day. As one close friend fondly recalled, Amanda was always the anchor. She made sure everyone felt seen and heard, and she actively worked to better the world around her. Her upbringing in Cleveland undoubtedly forged these lifelong values, evident in her success and her role as a beacon in her community. On the surface, Amanda's relationship with Terrell Edwards appeared to be a storybook romance. Their social media presence was filled with joyful images, smiles, affection, and moments that many envied, suggesting a deeply loving connection. To the outside world, they seemed like a perfect match, two people building a shared future together. However, beneath this polished veneer of happiness, concerning signals began to emerge. Friends and family who were intimately connected with Amanda would later reveal a far darker narrative. One of manipulation, emotional control, and escalating abuse. While Terrell Edwards had no significant criminal history when they first met, those closest to Amanda started noticing subtle indicators of his possessiveness and coercive nature. A friend confided, "Initially, It seemed normal. But over time, Amanda seemed to be treading on eggshells around him. It wasn't just minor things. It was his attempts to isolate her, to dictate what she could and couldn't do without him. It was clear control, but she tried to minimize it for the sake of peace. Family members also observed a troubling shift in Amanda, who had once been so vibrant and self-assured. As one relative, choosing anonymity, noted, she was always so open, always smiling, always talking about her business achievements. But in the final months, she became quieter, more withdrawn. Something had fundamentally changed in her. Despite these escalating concerns, Amanda continued to invest in the relationship. Like many in controlling dynamics, she held on to hope that things would improve, driven by her love for Terrell. Yet, the situation only seemed to worsen. Friends recalled Amanda expressing anxieties about Terrell's reactions to her growing career success and increasing independence. A friend grimly shared she started to fear for her safety. It wasn't just the yelling or the controlling actions, it was the chilling thought that it might escalate physically. Tragically, Amanda's history with Terrell included unsettling incidents that had been previously concealed. In 2019, Terrell had been arrested for assaulting Amanda, though formal charges were never pursued. Then, in 2020, another woman secured a restraining order against him, alleging stalking and threats. Despite these alarming red flags, Amanda's love and loyalty clouded her judgment. She clung to the belief that things would eventually get better, repeatedly offering him second chances despite mounting concerns from her loved ones. An emotional family member reflected on those final, desperate months. We pleaded with her to leave. We told her to be careful, but she just couldn't bring herself to sever ties. She kept thinking, if I just try harder, maybe he'll change. But by then, it was already too late. What began with such promise had spiraled into a toxic cycle, transforming Amanda's dreams for a future with Terrell into an inescapable nightmare. October 9th, 2023. Amanda Williams returned home to Warrensville Heights, Ohio, energized from a cosmetology convention in Columbus. She was filled with optimism, ready to further her salon's success and enjoy time with her family. But as she stepped through the door of her Sunset Drive residence, the vibrant energy from her trip was immediately replaced by the suffocating tension she had been trying to escape. Her fiancé, Terrell Edwards, was already there, and their relationship, having frayed for months, was on the precipice of collapse. It quickly became apparent that the long-simmering argument was about to erupt. As Amanda attempted to create emotional and physical distance, tensions rapidly escalated. Friends and family would later recount the immediate tension upon her return. A neighbor observed, "You could feel it the moment she arrived. She looked strained. Unlike her usual self, no smile, no casual chats." Amanda's mounting frustration reached its peak as her efforts to disengage from Terrell, to finally break free from the toxic cycle, were met with fierce resistance. A simple disagreement quickly spiraled into a full-blown confrontation. Terrell began to accuse her of abandonment, his palpable frustration evident. Yet, Amanda remained resolute. She had made her decision. For months, she had been trying to leave, and now, after the weekend, she was ready to end the relationship permanently. As the argument unfolded, Amanda grew firmer in her demand for him to leave their home. A family friend vividly remembered her saying, "You need to go. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore." It was unequivocally clear she was not backing down this time. She had endured enough of his mistreatment. Amanda's demand for Terrell to leave was not a surprise to those who knew her. It was a long-awaited breaking point. For months, she had endured emotional manipulation and controlling behavior. Each attempt to make things work had only led to further loss of control. Her breaking point had finally arrived. As the day progressed, the argument intensified. The couple retreated to the basement, an attempt to shield Amanda's daughter and granddaughter, who were upstairs. Voices grew louder, the atmosphere thick with an unyielding tension. Amanda's desperate need for space and peace collided violently with Terrell's refusal to let go. By late afternoon, the situation had reached a critical juncture. Amanda reiterated, with even greater force, that he needed to leave. She had made it abundantly clear that she no longer wanted him in her life, and nothing he could say or do could alter that. It was a moment that would forever haunt those who knew her. She had finally made up her mind. Terrell, however, was unwilling to accept this finality. According to later accounts, he began packing his belongings, but the arguments only escalated further. A neighbor who overheard the commotion that afternoon recalled, "It started like a typical argument, but then it got much louder. It wasn't just shouting anymore. It sounded like something far more serious was unfolding. We didn't know the full extent of what was happening behind those doors, but it was deeply unsettling." As evening descended, the tension in the house reached its zenith. Amanda had demanded Terrell's departure, and he had begun to pack. What should have been a moment of finality, a decision to end a tumultuous relationship, instead tragically set the stage for a far darker reality. The events of that day were a harrowing culmination of years of unresolved conflict, emotional abuse, and manipulation. Amanda, having reached her absolute limit, was finally striving to reclaim control of her life. What followed would rip apart her family, devastate her friends, and shock her community, a brutal and heartbreaking end to a life brimming with potential, hope, and love. On the night of October 9th, 2023, Amanda Williams suffered fatal gunshot wounds in her Warrensville Heights home. Her fiancé, Terrell Edwards, made a chilling 911 call around 11:40 p.m., confessing to killing her. Upon arrival, officers discovered Amanda unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds. She was rushed to Cleveland Clinic South Point Hospital but was tragically pronounced dead. The investigation into Amanda Williams' death commenced immediately after police responded to Edwards' 911 call. Edwards initially claimed self-defense, asserting that Amanda had threatened him with a knife, leaving him no choice but to shoot her. However, as detectives and forensic experts meticulously examined the case, numerous inconsistencies began to surface, casting significant doubt on Edwards' narrative. A critical piece of evidence emerged from cell phone recordings Edwards himself had made during the argument. These recordings, captured in their bedroom just before the shooting, proved pivotal to the investigation, directly contradicting his self-defense claim. The audio clearly showed that Amanda had, in fact, put the knife down before approaching him. There was no indication whatsoever that she lunged at him with the weapon, as Edwards had initially stated. Furthermore, the forensic examination of the crime scene and Amanda's body raised profound questions about the self-defense argument. Amanda had been shot 6 times. Medical experts, including Dr. Elizabeth Mooney, the county deputy medical examiner, testified that one of the gunshot wounds would have resulted in complete paralysis from the neck down. This medical evidence made it physically impossible for Amanda to have wielded a knife after sustaining such an injury. The findings directly refuted Edwards' claims, indicating that Amanda was likely incapacitated long before the final, fatal shots were fired. The investigation unearthed even more disturbing details about the turbulent relationship between Edwards and Amanda. Warrensville Heights police records revealed a history of abuse. Edwards had been arrested in 2019 for assaulting Amanda, though formal charges were never pursued. Additionally, records from 2020 showed another woman had obtained a restraining order against Edwards, citing stalking and threats. These incidents painted a disturbing picture of Edwards' behavior, strongly suggesting a pattern of escalating violence. Amanda's family played an integral role in unearthing the truth as the investigation progressed. They launched a powerful social media campaign demanding justice for Amanda, sharing evidence of previous abuse, including unsettling text messages Amanda had sent to a friend. In a poignant text from November 2020, Amanda described feeling like a battered woman and expressed her profound humiliation within the relationship. This further substantiated the claims of long-standing emotional and physical abuse. Despite these burgeoning revelations, the investigation experienced initial delays. Edwards was initially released, with authorities citing insufficient evidence for immediate charges. This decision ignited public outrage, particularly among Amanda's family and friends, who were well aware of the couple's abusive history. However, the investigation gained crucial momentum when a grand jury voted to indict Edwards in early November 2023, based on the accumulating evidence, including forensic analysis, cell phone recordings, and the documented history of abuse. Edwards surrendered to authorities the following day, and the legal proceedings against him commenced. The trial, which began in February 2024, brought all the compelling evidence to the forefront. Prosecutors presented a powerful case, highlighting the inconsistencies in Edwards' account and the overwhelming medical and forensic evidence that directly contradicted his self-defense claim. The cell phone recordings were paramount in exposing the falsehoods in Edwards' version of events. The defense attempted to argue that Edwards acted out of fear for his life, but the jury remained unconvinced. On March 4, 2024, after a tense trial, the jury found Edwards guilty on multiple counts, including 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of domestic violence. The conviction was secured not only by the undeniable physical evidence, but also by powerful testimonies and the indisputable history of abuse. The investigation into Amanda's death was a painful but absolutely necessary pursuit of justice. It laid bare the grim reality behind the relationship's facade and underscored the devastating consequences of domestic violence. The prosecution's effective presentation of the evidence ultimately ensured Edwards would be held accountable for his heinous actions. On March 11, 2024, Terrell Edwards was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 24 years. Through the relentless efforts of investigators, forensic experts, and Amanda's unwavering family, the truth was illuminated and a measure of justice was served, though it could never bring Amanda back. This investigation powerfully underscored the vital importance of confronting domestic violence and society's urgent need to take a stronger, more decisive stance against such abuse. Amanda Williams' tragic death left an indelible void in the Warrensville Heights community. Her vibrant spirit, her role as a successful businesswoman, and her profound impact on everyone around her were immeasurable. A La Mode Styles, the salon into which she had poured her heart and soul, remains a testament to her entrepreneurial spirit. It was far more than just a business. It was a sanctuary of empowerment, a space where women found not only exceptional hair care, but also unwavering support, comfort, and a profound sense of community. Amanda's absence created a void not only within her family, but in the hearts of her cherished clients and the countless lives she had touched. In the weeks that followed her passing, the community rallied fiercely to honor her memory. Vigils were held outside her salon, where friends, clients, and loved ones gathered to remember the woman who had left such a lasting impression on their lives. Memorials began to appear, adorned with flowers and candles, serving as a poignant symbol of the immense love and admiration that surrounded her. The outpouring of grief was palpable, but equally strong was the collective determination to ensure that Amanda's death would not be in vain. Local domestic violence advocates seized upon the tragedy as a powerful call to action, pushing for enhanced protections for victims and more stringent measures to hold abusers accountable. A local community leader, visibly moved, stated, "Amanda's story, while heartbreaking, has ignited a crucial conversation about the stark realities of domestic violence. It demonstrates that this isn't just an issue confined to specific communities or hidden behind closed doors. It can happen to anyone, and we must do more to protect victims." The ripple effect of her death sparked vital discussions about the urgent need for greater resources for survivors and a deeper societal commitment to eradicating abuse. Amanda's death, while profoundly tragic, ultimately became a catalyst for change. If Amanda's story resonated with you and its message impacted you, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Sinister Tales for more real-life cases, and share this story widely. Your support helps to amplify awareness about the devastating realities of domestic violence and keeps these crucial conversations alive. Let's continue to honor Amanda's powerful legacy together and spread her message of strength and resilience. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Sinister Tale.